Welcome back to What Moves You with Jessie. For today, I thought I'd share this little insight that might sound like something that we all know already, but it occurred to me kind of in a deeper way the other day, so I thought I would share. I was on a walk going up into the canyon near my home here in Los Angeles, and I couldn't help but just really take in my environment. I was really present, clearly. Things like noticing a butterfly crossing my path was moving me. You know those moments? I noticed the smell of jasmine that was really strong in the air for a few weeks down here. I noticed, the neighbors that are all up to different things and getting kind of curious about, well, I'm on a walk in between clients at 2:00 in the afternoon. What are you doing? Anyhow, so I was in this just really free, open mind space. And what occurred to me was thinking changes on its own. That's it. And I remember immediately I thought, I want to share this with everybody. Because it brought the biggest smile to my face. Thinking changes on its own. I don't know why that occurred to me in that moment. What's coming to me now is it's so interesting when we're in a really open, relaxed place. We could call that a quiet mind. Again, we could just say we're feeling relaxed or feeling relieved. Just when we don't have anything on our mind, right? Anything specific. And I noticed how transient my thinking was. Like I'm saying to you, I noticed the monarch. I noticed the smell of jasmine, which then made me think of my mom's house because she has a bunch of jasmine around the front fence. And then I noticed the neighbors and, I noticed a guy running by me with a quite funny run. And I thought, how does his body not break down doing that? But anyhow, it's like it was thought after thought after thought. In they came, out they went. In they came, out they went. And isn't that so comforting to know? Isn't that so comforting to look at? Because when it comes to the thinking that we get gripped by, when we're worrying about something, worry is just when we are going around and around and around in our heads about things that we already know, but there's this one missing piece. And that's typically an outcome in the future that we can't know anything about until we're there. So having that missing puzzle piece of not knowing the outcome is what keeps us churning and churning and churning. And it's almost like we innocently believe that it's required for us to do that in order to find the missing piece. And again, here I was, walking in a beautiful feeling and noticing all of this thinking moving through me. And the more you see this, the more you consider It isn't required for you to know something in order to feel better. The feeling better is always on offer. That's the feeling that you will fall into the moment that you really see the role of thought and how it creates your experience and how you don't have to suffer from it. You can see it for what it is. Oh, I'm having a lot of thinking around, what I'm going to make for that meal for my family, considering half of them are trying to not eat meat anymore, and I don't know how to cook without making a meat part of the dish. What am I going to do? How am I going to figure this out? And you're thinking and you're thinking and you try to figure it out, right? And kind of what I'm pointing to is the moment that we see it for what it is and go, oh, I'm getting gripped here and I can't really figure out what to do because I'm sitting here chewing on all these things that are all kind of laying dead in my brain and I'm trying to figure out what to do about this. Let me relax. And it's almost like if you need a picture in your mind, it's like you can go to the well inside of you, right? It's like going to the well to get a new idea, a fresh idea that always exists inside of you in that feeling of being relaxed. And you can have a bunch of thinking, and it doesn't have to be that all of a sudden you're, in this, you don't need to get to the top of a mountain or be next to a beach. You can have a bunch of thinking and also not have the suffering that looks it's so seductive, that you think that the suffering has to go hand in hand with the thinking. But touching back on that insight that I shared at the very beginning, here I was in a really open mind, just moving through my day, and look at that beautiful thought that occurred to me. Thinking changes on its own. I don't know, I'm pausing there because isn't that so freeing to know? Isn't that so freeing? And I don't know, it feels like it takes the pressure off. Because when you know that you're kind of coming up against yourself because you're looking for that missing piece of the puzzle, right? Or you're looking for something to, you're just looking inside of your mind for an answer, something to help you. And when you wake up to, oh, I'm just trying to figure this thing out. And the reality is that thinking naturally changes on its own. And if I kind of go to the well of, well, I don't actually know and see what occurs to me, that's what's actually helpful. You can relax. It isn't required for you to overthink something. It isn't required for you to know everything. In fact, it's the idea that it is required that adds the pressure, that adds more thinking onto your thinking. The belief that you're supposed to have all of the answers is what gets you gripped. And when you fall back into that well of I don't know right now, but something will occur to me because it always does. What a relief. What a relief. That feels about right. So, hey, if this was helpful, or if it feels like you'd like to, have, if you have a question or any ideas around this, as you know, unless you're new to the podcast, welcome. There is a hotline for you. And all you have to do is leave a message, because I know that can be stressful sometimes, talking to somebody when you're putting an idea out there. So all you have to do is leave a message at the hotline number, which is 818-646-JESS. That's 818-646-JESS. I love being engaged with you. When I get phone calls, it just makes my day. I always love speaking with you. And if it's just a topic request and not a question, that's good too. Again, thinking changes on its own. Good stuff. All right. Sending love in all directions, and I'll see you next week.